So I was speaking to my sister, and then
Yeah.
no, she's like, I want to watch. So there was a Ladies and Dominic Bus poster in Kochi. So when we were driving, she was like, "Oh, how's this movie? Did you watch it and stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, I saw it." "What about you? Did you watch?" She's like, "Yeah, I saw it. I liked it." I'm like, "Do you really like it?" She's
Mm.
like, "Yeah, I mean, it's okay." I'm like, if you want to hear a good review about this, I think that there's a new YouTube channel that does reviews about like for movies. And she's like, "Oh, really? Which one? Show me." Then I showed her this. I'm like, "It's called Vibe Collective." So the intro when it started, she's like, "Oh, what white people are doing intros? White people are reviewing Mallu movies now." I'm like, I like how you think that this is standard thing. This is completely done from Canada. Probably that's why you think there is a white element in all of this. പക്ഷേ ഇത് purely Mallu based ആണ്. She's like, "Who's it?" And then she saw my face. Yeah, she didn't look at. She didn't see you first. She saw me. Why you in the podcast? I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. ഇത് ഞാനും കൂടെയുള്ള podcast ആണ്." She's like, "Oh, Arun's there." Yeah, she's like, "Arun's there." I'm like, "Yeah, Arun's there. It's me and Arun. That's why you see two people sitting in that podcast thing." She's like, "You're there in every show." I'm like, "Ada ella show then she's like, why Arun stopped doing this? So she's like, why Arun stopped doing the comedy scene?
You know what's funny to
Uh,
me is is that your sister first of all couldn't believe you were in a podcast, and her next question is like, guest star ആയിരിക്കുമല്ലേ, cameo ആയിരിക്കുമല്ലേ? എന്തായാലും അടുത്ത
so
എപ്പിസോഡിൽ
no,
നിന്നെ പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കണ്ടല്ലോ.
at this point, she's got to this point. She's like, നീ എല്ലാ ഷോയിലും ഉണ്ടോ?
Yeah.
I'm like, എല്ലാത്തിലും ഉണ്ടാവും. ഞാൻ co-host ആണ്. She's like, and then we'll get other stars, then that will be the guest. She's like, then immediate next question was this. So Arun stopped doing the comedy thing. I'm like, no. She's like, now she needs you to be a part of this. Has his career gone so down the path? I'm like, ഇല്ല അതല്ല അവനെല്ലാം ഉണ്ട് അവന് ഇതും കൂടി ചേർത്ത് നമുക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടാണ്. She's like,
കേപ്പിച്ച്.
she's like അരുണിനോടൊന്ന് സംസാരിക്കണം. Probably he's taking anyone now. ഞാനൊന്ന് കേറട്ടെ അവിടെ. So I'll probably ask Niranjana all these people to come and then become co-stars in this. I'm like, ആകെ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് കിട്ടിയ ഒരു ചാൻസാ അതും കൂടി തട്ടിയെടുക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി I felt like I felt like Srinivasan, dude.
No, but the good thing is they saw that and they said, I want to be a
She
part of this.
subscribed. I never even
മനസ്സിലായില്ലേ?
asked her. She
Oh,
was like, so I was showing
oh,
it on
so
my
she is
phone,
the
yeah.
12th
Yeah,
subscriber.
she opened. So I was showing it on my phone, and that ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ഫോൺ എടുക്കട്ടെ. She opened her phone. She subscribed for it, and she's like, she liked both the videos, and she's like, done. I'm like, but you haven't seen the first video. She's like, it's okay, it's okay. You guys need that like probably at this point. I'm like, okay, thank you. She's like, do you mind if I tell my friends yet? I'm like, don't tell friends yet, and then they'll start judging. Let it be reach a couple of views and all of this. Let some people organically see it. Then when friends see it, they'll be like, oh, it's something nice to watch. ഇപ്പൊ നാട്ടുകാര് തെറി മാത്രം കേട്ടാ പോരെ, ഈ കൂട്ടുകാരും വീട്ടുകാരും തെറി കേൾക്കട്ടെ. So
അത്
my
വേണ്ട,
dad also
അത്
asked me.
നല്ലതാണ്. അത് ഓൾസോ ഓർഗാനിക് ആക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ഞാൻ റെഡിറ്റിലെല്ലാം പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് ഓർഗാനിക് ആയിട്ട്.
No, but that's still or other from organic. It's like people
ഉം.
who want to take the
അതെ
effort
അതെ.
and come and see, they see. Friends and family is not like that. When you suggest something, they're like, ഇനിയിപ്പോ ഈ തെണ്ടിയുടെ ഇത് കണ്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്ത് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു വിചാരിച്ച് they have to do it. It's a necessity at this point. I told my dad also. I'm like, dad's like, എന്താ നീ ചെയ്യുന്നത്? I'm like, ഒരു പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്യാണ്. അരുണോട് പണിയില്ലേ? പണി കഴിഞ്ഞ് സമയമുള്ള നേരത്ത് അവൻ ആ ഗ്യാപ്പിൽ നമ്മൾ ക്രിയേറ്റീവ് ആയിട്ട് എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ ചെയ്യണ്ടേ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു.
ഒരു 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 മണിക്കൂറില്ലേ
ആ,
അരുണ് ഫ്രീ
ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു
ആയിട്ട്,
ഒരു
അരുണിന്റെ വാർക്ക്
മണിക്കൂർ
പണിക്ക്
ഞങ്ങൾ ഇരുന്ന്
പോകണം.
സംസാരിക്കണം, കാച്ചപ്പ് ചെയ്യണം, റെഗുലർലി വീക്ക്ലി കാച്ചപ്പ് പണ്ട് ചെയ്തിരുന്ന സാധനം ഇപ്പൊ റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു, ഇത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പൊ കുറച്ചുകൂടി ബെറ്റർ ആയില്ലോ എന്ന്. അതിന് ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ എന്തായാലും മര്യാദയ്ക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് ഐ എം ലൈക്ക് ഡോണ്ട് വറി എല്ലാം റെഡിയാക്കാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. I have my parents' blessing and I have my sister's subscription. So hopefully this
Oh.
might result.
You said it like that was the formula for success. എനിക്ക് എന്റെ മാതാപിതാക്കളുടെ ബ്ലെസ്സിങ്ങും എന്റെ സിസ്റ്ററിന്റെ സബ്സ്ക്രിപ്ഷനും ഇനി എനിക്കൊന്നും വേണ്ട,
എനിക്കൊന്നും വേണ്ട.
ദൈവത്തിന്റെ അനുഗ്രഹം മാത്രം.
My family will watch this. I know now. At least that's all I wanted. Yeah.
ആ
And who
മൂ-
who
ആ
else would
മൂന്ന്
see
വ്യൂ.
this?
No, I want to actually make fun of you because at least വീട്ടുകാരെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടല്ലോ നിന്റെ ഇത് കാണാൻ. ഞാൻ എന്റെ അനിയന് അയച്ചു കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഹി നോസ്
Ah,
നമ്മൾ
okay.
ചെയ്യുവാന്ന്. ഓക്കെ, സോ അവൻ പ്രാവൻകോട് ഷാപ്പ് കണ്ടിട്ടുമില്ല, ഡൊമിനിക്കും കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ രണ്ട് വീഡിയോയും ഫുള്ള് കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല. ബട്ട് ഇൻട്രോയും ഔട്ട്രോയും കണ്ടു.
Intro പൊളിച്ച്.
ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് ഹീസ് ലൈക്ക്, അതെ അതെ, അല്ലല്ല, ഹേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനാ വന്നത്. വേറൊന്നിനുമല്ല. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് ഇന്നലെ നമ്മള് ഇപ്പൊ ഒരു ദിവസം ലേറ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളൂ ഈ ആഴ്ച അപ്ലോഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ചൊവ്വാഴ്ച വന്നായിരുന്നു, എപ്പിസോഡ് ഒന്നും കണ്ടില്ല. ഓക്കെ, ഈ ഈ നമ്മൾ ഇന്ന് റിവ്യൂ ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്ന മൂവി അവൻ കണ്ടിട്ടില്ല.
ഓഹ്!
സോ ഹി
എന്നാലും
ജസ്റ്റ് വാണ്ടഡ് ടു കം ആൻഡ് ഹേറ്റ്.
എന്തേ പൊട്ടിയോ? ഓൾറെഡി ഇതൊക്കെ നിർത്തിയോ? പൂട്ടി കെട്ടിയോ? റിവ്യൂ ഒന്നും കണ്ടില്ല.
അല്ല, അവൻ പറഞ്ഞു അവൻ ജോലി കഴിഞ്ഞ് വന്നിട്ട് ഡിസ്ലൈക്ക് അടിക്കാൻ നോക്കിയപ്പോ വീഡിയോ കണ്ടില്ല. ഈ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ജസ്റ്റ് ഡിസ്ലൈക്ക്. അതുകൊണ്ടല്ലേ ഞാൻ ലൈക്ക് ചെയ്തത് ബാലൻസ് ചെയ്യുന്നേ. ഓ, വീട്ടില് 3 പിള്ളേരുണ്ടായിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ തെണ്ടിപ്പോയേനെ.
ഓഹ്! പ്രൊപ്പോർഷനേറ്റ് അല്ലാതെ ആ ഒരു ഡിസ്ലൈക്ക് കൂടി കൂടിയേനല്ലേ?
അതെ. അപ്പം yeah. Anyway, I think we didn't start off with the intros,
Ah,
right?
yeah,
So,
the intros were good.
okay. അല്ല, ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ സിനിമകളുടെയൊക്കെ ഇൻട്രോ പകുതി വരിയില്ലല്ലേ. ഇറ്റ്സ് ഓക്കെ. ഒരു വെറൈറ്റി. Are you a fan of that? Do you like it?
No, so recently I just saw Sukshma Darshini again, rewatched it. So I had missed the first bit when I first saw it in theater. Akshay, so this time around, I saw after the first 15 minutes of the whole movie, when Nasri was doing something, it zooms out of that window and it's written Sukshma Darshini. I'm like, yeah, because when I first saw the movie, this is when I walked in. So I missed a whole lot of shit that happened right at the start. Yeah. And I thought, I like a genius sat down and when I saw it in the theater, I was like, Bhagyam, cinema ippo thodangiyallo. I missed a good chunk of what happened before. Now I saw it in OTT and I'm like, ഇതൊക്കെ ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടായോ?
So
So
you
it's
came in and she's
very,
like, oh, ഭാഗ്യം 2:30 സിനിമ 3:15 തുടങ്ങിയില്ല.
yeah. No, I thought might have been some technical delay. Something happened, and that's why the show
ഓക്കെ.
started late. I didn't go to
ഇതിലെ
question them.
കോസ്റ്റ്യൂം വന്നില്ല, നമുക്ക് തുടങ്ങാൻ
Yeah,
പറ്റും.
I mean, how do I question them? Because the thing has started 15 minutes later. Title card has come up. Not my fault.
All right, so welcome to the Vibe Collective podcast. My name is Arun. I have with me Austin.
Hi guys.
Yeah, so this is a movie review podcast, a movie discussion podcast. This drops every Tuesday, and I don't know why I said Tuesday, but it is what it is. I guess we're too late to move on now. But every Tuesday, and please like, share, and subscribe because that's all we have going for in our life. Like basically this, okay? And Austin can vouch for that. Austin.
Yeah, I got my parents to like, subscribe, share. I got my sister to do. I haven't asked my friends yet because I want to see how it's going, and then I will. So, my 4 friends, if you see this organically, just join. Don't wait for me to ask and beg and ask you all of this. If you've seen this and it comes up in your feed as a, I hope it comes as the FIP. But if it does, please
Yeah.
do this. Don't wait for me to ask.
Yeah, if it if it comes in your DMs from me also organically, please open and like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah. Also,
Okay, we also have a Gmail address that nobody emailed last week, despite me telling 4 times, maybe because nobody saw this episode. But
no, we have views
yeah,
on it. We
either
have
way.
views on it. It's just that people think that we come up with good movies. They're like, we don't want to suggest yet. When they run dry
Mm,
and they don't have enough good movies to speak
mm.
about, then we'll be like, എടാ നിങ്ങൾ ഇതിനൊക്കെ പറ്റി സംസാരിക്കില്ല ഇനി ഇതിനെ പറ്റി സംസാരിക്കുന്നു, they would tell a movie at some point.
We will be reviewing Identity today, which is
A Tovino starrer.
something. Yes, please go ahead. I'm
No,
this movie pissed me
so
off so much. Yeah.
generally, I'm the one who starts with all the review points. This time, I want for a change. Me starting. I want to hear what you want to say.
Oh, you want me to
Yeah.
go? Okay, so I'll start off with the good,
Okay.
right? Okay, so let me just pull up my notes. And almost forgot. Write in to vibecollectivepodcast@gmail.com.
Yes. Please.
അത് പറഞ്ഞില്ലെന്ന് വേണ്ട. ഇനി ഞാൻ പറയാതെ ഈ പിള്ളേരെ
അതും പറഞ്ഞില്ല അതുകൊണ്ട് no.
So, pros.
Okay.
Okay, the cinematography, the movie looked very good.
Mm.
Okay, it was a very good looking movie,
Okay.
and I can see where they spend the money.
Yeah.
Okay, So ഇതൊരു big budget movie and like there was not just information teaser in the trailer in okay you could pick that up.
I think when you see confident group on any production label, it is a big budget,
Yeah, okay. So the last time I saw that was Casanova, I think. Confident Casanova.
big budget.
So maybe I should have seen that tag. ഞാൻ ആ ടാഗ് കണ്ടില്ല. Maybe cinema കാണില്ലായിരുന്നു. Anyway, okay, but so confident group and identity. This movie has no identity. Okay, let me touch on the things I like. Movie looked rich. BGM was good, although it was overused at certain points. Not overused, misused, I would say. Where I would hear something in some scene, I'm like, why is it playing here? Okay,
Reuse,
shit
you
like
mean?
that, and all. No, I thought not reuse, bro. Like in it doesn't
Oh,
match,
okay,
and
I get
like
it. Okay.
if it's a
അവിടെ ഇവിടെ
yeah, if
ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ്
like if there's
കൊണ്ടൊരു
a
എന്നാ ബീജം ഇരിക്കട്ടെ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്.
yeah, like for example, if there is like a scene where there's a ghost coming and it's like plays you, then you're like, wait, what is happening? Like you can't do that, right? So it's shit like that where it's felt like I think they would I don't remember the exact scene. It was them looking at some book or some shit like that, and then the BGM was like really like a hype BGM, but nothing hype was
Yeah,
happening. So I don't know. I'm
I
not really
noticed
sure.
that. Yeah.
Anyway, exactly. So that's all the good I have.
Really?
That's all the good I have.
You even said BGM was
I have to
trash.
make it.
I hope you know your earlier, the last edit they said BGM was not unnecessary here and there. So that's what
No,
good or
no,
bad.
BGM was good, yeah, but then I think I would place that
So
on the direction
cinematography
where
is
it
all that
wasn't
you
played.
liked, and BGM here
Production
and there,
design,
and the production, the whole production you liked.
yeah, that's
You're
pretty
not going to
much it.
comment on Tovino's acting or the plot twist or the story. Nothing you like.
No, oh, bro,
Nothing coming in bad.
yeah, it is absolutely is, and also, and I fuck with Tovino. Like
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like
It's no
I'm
hate. I
just there
know
is,
this is no hate to anyone. It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
probably
yeah,
you
yeah.
never, you did genuinely did not like it. I understand. It's just okay. Let me hear your bad now, or do you want to hear my good?
I think I want you to finish off your good, and then I'll go finish off your good, say your bad, and then I'll say my bad.
No, we're gonna hear your bad, but let me say my good. Okay. So, anyways,
Okay.
I think similar to what you said, cinematography was very well done. Action sequences also. I think the fight scene. Let's just straight jump to that part because I think there is no other action scene before that that commends that requires that kind of this thing that says it was well done. There was nothing big. It was a car chase. Was not that great. Uh, However, that warehouse cut in the scene in the beginning, where Toino was part of that whole thing, I really liked it. That production was very well done. You see how those things were kept there. It was not very random. It was not. It looked like a proper layer of a proper like a villain. So
So thought put
yeah,
into it.
thought put into it. They didn't just randomly put two screens and Windows laptop and then just say let's just burn only this. So they went forward
Hmm.
to make that whole thing look like a place that you could believe that this is a place where this person operates. And so and like that there are a lot of places where they went very very much into detail. I liked that, and I liked color grading was very brilliant. I felt in this movie where it had to be very somber and gray, where because that girl's facing a difficulty in her life, a medical issue, where she's unable to recollect things. So it has to be very gray and white, and that's how it is kept, and that gave that effect of that person's discomfort throughout, even to the because of that the color grading angane ayadondu you felt that discomfort while watching the movie, and I think that was a very nice detail in that movie. Acting wise, Trisha did a good job. I think I have to say, Tovino also did a fine enough job. Villain also, I think initially he was very much able to convince you that he is a good cop, and I think the other that also gives the casting was also very very nice. I think there was nothing wrong here in casting wise. Stories plot twist ellam, it was very here and there was a little predictable. uh, but the fact that, what do you say, Trisha's that issue that we first when we first encountered, that she's not able to identify people. We see Tovino get scared for a second when she describes that person, pentagon, what the square shaped and chin down there, and other whatever. Tovino's getting a little worried, thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get caught. The movie's gonna finish there." But how they introduced that was also very nice, where she never understood that she had a particular issue, and then it was discovered on this. Generally, that person would also know. ഇത്രയും വർഷം ജീവിച്ച ഒരാൾക്ക് would know that I have a certain kind of a disability, but 25, 30 years she didn't figure it out, and this is when it was figured out. That was a bit of a flaw here there, but also I felt like that was a key turning point in the movie where Tovino could start his whole thing. Then I think going down, most there was a bit, it was a bit laggy, the movie. I'll agree, but the last fight sequence are very unnecessary though, to have done it in the
Hmm.
air. But still, they wanted to do something that was out of the box, and to get things done out of the box, one is good, provide a good story point that leads to that part, but the other is just push it into it. Like how you said, BGM already തളർന്ന പോലെ, just push it in, let them watch it, but just let's do it as a good fight sequence. So in that sense, I think the last fight sequence was very nice. നല്ല മര്യാദയ്ക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ നോക്കിയിട്ട് it was done in a simulated way, but also a real aircraft was also used during bits of the filming of this. So all in all, it was something that I think was a good movie. Ending, however, was a little not very nice. I think that shot and all, that slow motion, that gunshot was okay, but could have done it much neatlier. Where that fight sequence was warranted in the movie. ആ ഒരു രീതിയിൽ അവര് അതെടുത്തില്ല. But yeah, all in all, I would say the movie didn't disappoint me, but it didn't also make me
Okay.
happy. It was like, here, watch something we've made. It is different from what you've seen so far. Movie ഐഡന്റിറ്റിയുടെ ഒരു ആവശ്യമില്ലാത്തൊരു ടൈറ്റിൽ. They could have named it anything else. Fight in the sky or something like that.
Yeah.
They didn't need the word.
Fight in the sky.
Probably at this point, because that was the biggest highlight for the. If you've seen the trailer was properly the fight in the sky. That was the hook that people got onto it, and I think the rest 50% was whatever was. But yeah, I don't know. These are my goods. I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. It was sufficiently a watchable movie, and I think it is a theater watch movie also. I wouldn't say it's an OTT movie. So most of the movies you would kind of like either OTT ല് കാണാനുള്ളൂ. But this I think was a theater watch movie because they did that much of technical work into it, and for you to appreciate enough that cinematography, I think you need to watch this in theater. But if everything is
So you
trash,
saw this again on
on
OTT,
OTT,
right,
which
for
is
the
when
podcast,
I didn't feel
right?
that.
So what were the differences you saw?
Yeah, so that's when I didn't feel that same kind of an effect because I'm seeing it on a little more smaller screen. The room's not dark enough. This audio is
Hmm.
not as good as how you would get in a theater. So I didn't feel that much of an appreciation towards the movie when I saw it on OTT, and I got out as ഞാൻ theatre കണ്ട് ഇറങ്ങിയപ്പോൾ അത്ര I didn't feel, because I saw it in the theater probably a little while ago. And for us to do this review, I wanted to refresh on this and watch it again. That's when I saw it in OTT. Probably that's why, because you saw it on OTT and you didn't see it in the theater. I think that's why maybe you weren't that appreciative of this. I feel.
But okay, so the thing is, it sounds like so. Like, I mean, I'll just speak for myself.
Mm.
Like Pramin Gurshapu was okay, like it was fine. Dominic എനിക്ക് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടില്ല. Now ഇതിന് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടില്ല. It very much feels like I'm coming here to hate on movies,
It looks like
right?
we are also
But
hating on movies, because if you look at our reviews and our score
yeah,
points, it's like we just talk about shitty movies. Like people will be like, ഇവർക്കന്ന് നല്ല സിനിമകൾ എടുത്ത് സംസാരിച്ചാൽ പോലെ എന്നായിരിക്കും.
it's whatever we feel like is what we want to talk
We have
about.
a treat coming though. We are going to speak about a movie that we all like. At the end of the video, we'll give you that teaser about which movie it is.
Absolutely. അത് ഓസ്റ്റിൻ തരുന്നതായിരിക്കും ബിക്കോസ് നമ്മൾ ഇത് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല എനിക്ക് ഏത് സിനിമ എന്നറിയില്ല
No, we discussed.
പക്ഷെ
We probably forgot
തരുന്നതായിരിക്കും.
this, but yeah, it will be. Yes.
Oh, മറ്റേ
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. So is it my turn to go bad now?
Yeah. I finished my good. You're excited to go
Okay,
with the bad.
okay.
Yeah? He's like, is it my turn yet to go for bad? Like, are we there yet? Are we there yet?
അല്ല അതപ്പോ അതാ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത് ഈ മൂവി. Okay, where do I begin? So this movie, my biggest problem is this movie thinks we are stupid. Okay, there is a There is a lot of like people explaining things to you that you could just know by watching. Like there is this rule in art, right? Like show don't tell, right? So it's like when you have to tell me everything, okay? So I don't watch anime, angane. Okay, I watch a lot of anime shit. Like whenever I watch like anime, like from like Japanese anime, one of the things that piss me off is like sometimes the exposition in those, right? Where I'm like, I understood what happened. Like, don't, because there'll be some character, the Pulimurigile Moopane Pole, and in this movie, that Moopan was Shammi Tilakan. Okay. So, right. So now I'll tell you the movie. This is what my notes were. The movie opens with Shammi Tilakan reading Harry Potter to us. Like, he's sitting there in some hospital or something and he's just explaining Jeeva Charitram to this lady. Like, I'm like, why? Like, you could have shown this in so many different ways, just
Showed
like
it in
environmental
a visual way,
storytelling.
yeah, like a bit of it.
Exactly, right? Or like in a photo anichamadi, or like through one dialogue. This guy is like ആരും അവിടെ പിടിച്ചു നിർത്തി അത് I have to tell the story. നീ ഇവിടെ ഇരുന്ന്. It's like എന്റെ അച്ഛൻ ഐസിയില്ല അയാളെ നോക്കൊന്നും പറ്റില്ല ഇവിടെ
ഓ അത്
ഇരിക്കുക.
കേട്ടിട്ട്
Listen to what I
പോയാ
have to say.
മതി.
അതെ അതെ ഐസിയിലല്ലേ നമുക്കറിയാലോ എന്ത് പറ്റുമെന്ന് ചിലപ്പോ തട്ടും ചിലപ്പോ ജീവിക്കും. This is not confusing. എന്റെ ഈ കഥ
എന്റെ ഈ
കേൾക്കും.
കഥ
This is
ഭയങ്കര
confusing as
ഇച്ചിരി
fuck.
കൺഫ്യൂസിങ്. അത് മുഴുവൻ കേട്ടാലാണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇത് അറ്റം വരെ കാണാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ.
As മാത്രല്ല he brings up some stepfather and all that shit and I'm like what is happening, like go slow, right? Like, or it's just dumping information and ആവശ്യമുള്ളപ്പം because I mean you like the movie but you like at some point it was confusing
Yeah.
where you're like what the fuck is happening here, right? And it wasn't because like sometimes if let's say ഇപ്പൊ സൂക്ഷ്മദർശിനിയാണ് we talked about it earlier, like അത് confusing ആവുമ്പം it's deliberately done by the filmmaker,
Reasonably. Yeah.
right? ഇവിടെ it felt like അബദ്ധം as in like they didn't like ആ ഭാഗത്ത് like they expected us to be like, oh ഇനി അടുത്ത എന്താണ് like തൃഷ is like മറ്റേ സി ഐ ഡി മൂസിലെ ഹരിശ്രേഷകൻ പറയല്ലേ എനിക്ക് എഴുതാനല്ലേ അറിയൂ സാറേ വായിക്കറിയല്ലോ. She's she എനിക്ക് ഫോട്ടോഗ്രാഫിക് മെമ്മറി അല്ലേ ഉള്ളൂ സാറേ ഫേസ് മൈനസ്. she has she has no idea. എനിക്ക് ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ് പറയാനേ അറിയൂ സാറേ. I don't know how to put them together
It
in
should
my
be
mind and
anything.
make a
She's just
face.
randomly giving
Yeah.
features.
Yeah, exactly. So this okay, and this movie, bro, ഈ മൂവിയിലെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ നടക്കുന്ന is all by convenience. എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ things are just like, oh ഇതിന്റെ right? Like where there is no എന്താ പറയാ
It's not taken from any particular person's side to make sure that the story is happening. It's just it's happening.
yes,
We're
right?
just going with the
Yeah,
flow.
so yeah, okay, and then the lighting thing happens, right? Okay, where they cut to the thing and he burns the whole warehouse down, and my wife my wife immediately goes like, "That's the way, okay, and then I'm like, nah, because once she said that, I saw that too, right? Because when I watch these like the thriller movies and shit, I switch off my brain because I don't
Who would
like
have to tell you?
I don't want to guess. Exactly, right? So I'm like, "Ningal parayumbam, I'll find out, but I don't want to think ahead of you. And then maybe if mine is better in my head, Ningada reveal would not be satisfying, right?" That much ahangaram. Ini script writers better ആയിട്ട് ഞാൻ ആലോചിച്ചല്ലോ
എന്നാൽ ഞാൻ
അബദ്ധത്തില്.
ഡിസപ്പോയിന്റഡ്
Sorry
ആയല്ലോ, അത്
guys.
വേണ്ട.
ഞാൻ ഞാൻ ഡിസപ്പോയിന്റഡ് ആയല്ലോ. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ അതാ പറഞ്ഞത്. I turned that off. I'm like, show me what your story is. I was like, the Tovino. No, I'm like, Pandaram, the Tovino. So now immediately I'm like, is this the big twist or whatever, right? So then it's like, it doesn't hit me from that point onwards. I'm like, this is Tovino, okay? And even when they try and there was this point where, is it Tovino? Is it not Tovino? I'm like, no, that is Tovino. And they brought this uncle guy who has no physical resemblance to Tovino. Okay, where I'm
And
supposed to
not
believe.
even Tovino. It had no resemblance to the shot that we saw where the guy was hit by the dude. At least if it
Yeah,
was somewhat
yeah,
similar, it could have still confused the people. Like it could be like another person, like Tovino, who has a revenge towards this, and Tovino still figuring it out. When they showed that older guy, I think that's when we were like, nice picture.
yeah. And then the whole again the flashback thing and the I thought the whole sister was raped thing. Okay, where I can see all these moments, like when you like write it, they're like, oh, this is like a good moment or whatever. But then it felt very cheap when they did in this movie,
Ah,
where എന്താ പറയാ, like it felt like, oh, you did that for the feel good moment. It didn't feel like it didn't. Okay, I think this is the problem with the whole movie.
mm,
I didn't like, there is nothing, there was no emotional connection with any of these characters for me,
mm.
right?
Yeah, that was it.
So it was like, yeah, when the sister was again, when the sister was raped and whatever, right? Like it, we didn't even see the sister properly to even have, like, the
That
whole,
feeling,
oh
that
shit, she
that
got.
sad feeling, she got.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, like, okay, like, I mean, you don't have to know someone to feel bad if they got raped.
No, but still, in
But that's
movie
what
for
I'm
you to
trying
connect to it and then to understand that Tovino is going through this and to connect with that
to.
hero's feeling.
No, because,
Yeah,
and also the brother sister bond, we didn't
yeah,
really see it. All we saw is like couple of scenes where, not even couple of shots where they're eating popcorn watching
yeah,
a movie,
yeah.
right? Which is just so random that any, like, there could be friends, like there's nothing
Tovino got
sibling
only
about
that
that,
many dates with
right?
that co-host probably to do that. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
ഇതില് തീർക്കണം എന്നൊക്കെ ഒരു mood. ഈ മോശം mood ഇതില് മതി.
അതെ, അതെ, ഈ ബക്കറ്റ് പോപ്കോണിലാണ് നമ്മുടെ ബന്ധം.
Yeah, like
സോ
confident voice like, നമുക്ക് എല്ലാ എക്സ്പെൻസും മേളില ഫ്ലൈറ്റിലാണ്. ഒക്കെ ഇവിടൊക്കെ ഷോർട്ട് ആക്കണം. ടോവിനൊക്കെ ഡേറ്റ്സ് കൊടുത്തിട്ടൊക്കെ പ്ലെയിനില.
plane leather. So then, oh, I'll get to the plane scene. So then, yeah. So then, when they did the rape thing, I'm like, okay, like, it's fine. Like, it's like I said, I don't know how to explain. It's just that it didn't hit like I know they thought it should hit.
Okay.
Okay, where you really like root for the person and like, hey man, like, on like, come up and all that shit. But then it's like, okay, whatever. And also, they didn't give a fuck because they just kept it moving. Right, we never talk about the sister again, really. Okay, and he doesn't. And the thing is, like, he doesn't even like. I mean, maybe he doesn't have to take revenge on the other guy because he was the rapist guy who actually did the raping, right? Who he actually killed. He wasn't the cop who told him to do that. So maybe that's fine. But okay, that's one thing. But then this is what I'm saying. Throughout the movie, where you don't really care about the Tovino character. Like, did you feel that? Like, you never
Oh,
cared for the
I,
hero.
I never cared for any of the cast members in the whole movie. At any point, I was ready for Trisha to die, except Tovino. Anyone who I was ready to die. Like I thought the sister could be
Yeah.
killed. Like see after I think my whole perception of movies and how villains are going to be kind has changed since I saw the movie Marco. Now I don't think villains have that empathy to keep them. I don't think you need to also. Villains need to change. Villains need to be like if I have to kill someone, let me kill that person. Not wait around, wait with the gun, haha, smile for 10 years. Why are you waiting for that? Kill them such that the hero has enough motive to come back to you. Not come back, save and take back. That kind of story has become very boring at this point. Where it's always the hero come save, come
Yeah.
save, come save. At some point, the villain has to win, and that movie did that for me. And I think that's one good that's come out from where I'm not no more thinking very happy about every movie. Every movie doesn't have to be this happy. It can be a little sad, and the world around is actually sad. Not everyone, not all villains wait around. Nowhere in real life you see villains wait around in a situation, and it's always the person does get like 50-50 of them, 50-50%. Some
He's like, അവൻ ഇവിടെ എത്താൻ പറ്റുമെന്നൊന്ന്
Yeah,
നോക്കട്ടെ.
what kind of shit is that? So other, I think, was very, very unnecessary, and people should start moving in that direction. Movie makers must decide to show that reality of things a little more. The other movie that had that similar effect was Pani, that Jojo Jo's movie. That had that thing where the villain made sure the villain had equal opportunities to win as much as the hero. That kind of an give and take, that real world how a person would face issues. That's how I think movie makers should start portraying these.
Also, the villains in Pani just stayed villains throughout. There was no Kuttabodham at the
Till the
end.
end, till
They're
the
like,
end,
yeah,
they
you know
speak
what?
about it. I last scene when that partner guy died and his head exploded. You see that's the
Yeah.
only time the other guy's facial expression changes. Then he understands that.
And because I think they thought they were
Yeah,
invincible, right?
yeah.
Like, they had that feeling because
Esther
that's why if you
Advigati didn't have
throughout
an
the movie
issue.
they're
Okay.
reckless.
But I want to speak about Pani actually at a different time. So let's not speak much about this movie. I really want to review that movie. I
Okay,
didn't know you had seen the movie, but if
okay,
that's the
okay.
case, I want to review that. So I want to speak about it. It's very nice. Well done. But yeah, again, coming back to our point of what we think about this. So coming back to the point of what we
Yeah,
think about this is how funny and no, sorry, how the villain must have enough leverage towards the hero. That was not here. At any time, you were ready, like you said, you didn't care about any of the characters, and I think that makes
it's funny. I missed this point where it was right before the rape thing. I said movie is desperate to get to the next twist. There was zero emotional connect. Where, like, what this reminded me of? Those race movies. You remember those?
Saif Ali Khan. Mm.
Right?
Yeah,
Saif Ali Khan, right? Okay, and those race movies were basically a race to the bottom.
yeah.
Okay, fucking trash movies where
Who
they
will fuck up
again, it's
more?
like twist, twist,
We'll
twist.
race
Yeah,
the
yeah, no,
bottom.
it's like twist, twist, twist. And what's funny is I remember when the first race came out, which I think is like the better one out of the three. I think I've only seen the two anyway. But the first one, it was kind of like a novel idea at that
Yeah,
point, where it's like, oh, people like fucked with it, kinda,
yeah.
right? But then they're like, oh, you like 10 twists a second? How about 20? Right? So it just they just kept leveling up, and then this is what happened with this movie too, where after a while, maybe after the third or fourth twist, now I'm not believing anything because I'm like, you're just gonna say this is a twist, right?
It was somewhat like that Key and Peele episode where they have that face mask when they go on the operation. They keep removing the mask. They're like, oh, you thought I was the bad guy.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
somewhat like that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, when does it end? They had that many masks.
And this is my problem with the
Yeah,
movie, where it's like when you do ഇത്രയും അധികം twist ഇല്ലേ, like പിന്നെ twist
yeah,
ഏക്കില്ല, right? ഈ മറ്റേ പുലി വരുന്നേ whatever
yeah,
that fuck
yeah,
it
yeah.
is. But okay, and now Shami Tilagan, the Moopen guy, okay. Shami Tilagan just show first. So first, we don't know who Shami Tilagan is. We just know he's a relative,
Yeah.
right? He's just chilling and explaining the
The
family
whole family.
history to some random person. Okay.
ഇതിന്റെ കുടുംബചരിത്രം നിനക്ക്
Then
അറിയോ?
I think the next,
പറയാം.
yeah, and it's like, and that's it. Okay, so this man has no regard. Okay, anyway, then the next time you see him in the movie, he's doing a fucking presentation to Karnataka Police
Yeah,
Commissioner and
yeah.
Tobino, right?
What the fuck?
With like clicker and everything.
But
And I'm
nobody.
like, who are you? Yeah. And then it's like the Karnataka police. At that point, we still think he's a real cop, right? Like the, what do you say? What's his name? Alan Jacob.
Alan.
Okay, so, like, unnecessary name, yeah. I'm just gonna call
Alan
it.
Jacob. There
Okay.
was a little,
It's like,
yeah, post that Anglo-Indian part into it.
and also the like what do you say? The amount of unnecessary English dialogues in this
Uh,
movie.
but I think that all comes from that, because Tovino, I think Tovino, who was also, I think, part of the production, does want this movie to be not only pan India, it needed a little more of Western countries and all to appreciate this. He wanted all of them to see it. That's why I think they give that much detailing in not into the script, but they gave it into the production. If you look at how the movie was shot, it's something that is appreciative of even Hollywood. If you look at it, there were elements that were very deep. As I said, details were very high, but they were like story. Let's not give a fuck. We want everyone to appreciate our technical team, and I think they spend a lot of money on the technical team. By the way, that's why the movie looks so good, but doesn't mean good.
Yeah, because I think that's the problem where, like you said, the focus was on the wrong thing. It was style over substance. Like, movie looked great. It was like shot well and everything. But then, like, if we don't care about what's happening, right? Like, why does it matter what it looks
Yeah,
like?
they didn't. I think it's a movie that didn't care about this product.
Yeah, and then that scene where Tovino and the cop fight, okay, and then he's like, "Oh," then Tovino says, "Oh, you're after the hard drive now, me, or not the real villain, or something like that, right?"
Yeah.
നിനക്ക് ശരിക്കും വേണ്ടത് ഹാർഡ് ഡ്രൈവ് അല്ലേ, അങ്ങനെ എന്തോ ചോദിക്കും ആ വെയർ ഹൗസിൽ
Yeah,
നിന്ന്
yeah.
അവര് ഇത്
Mm.
ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക്, ഓക്കെ, വെയർ ഹൗസ് wherever, and so immediately we know, like, the cop is not like that. That's not like a good cop.
Yeah.
He's on some
We know
personal
that he's on his
business,
own. Yeah.
right? And then അടുത്ത scene or two scenes later, the big twist is the cop നമ്മൾ വിചാരിച്ച ആളല്ല. He's on personal
Mm.
business. And I'm like, yeah, like, you told us this, but then they didn't actually tell us. So in their mind, we never told
ഇനി
you this.
അവർക്ക്
So then
മനസ്സിലായോ?
they had somebody. Yeah, yeah. And this is why I said this movie. This movie, it's like things the audience is
Yeah.
pottamare, And then there are parts where then we need somebody to explain what's happening. There's nobody there. Like, ആദ്യവർക്ക് മനസ്സിലായിക്കോളും. Like, how did they decide what works and what doesn't? Because nothing works. Okay. And so,
Whoever reviewed this movie is where I question this. With I'm sure some dumb fuck sat and reviewed this movie. They're like, ഇല്ല ഇതെനിക്ക് ഉറപ്പ് ഓഡിയൻസിന് ഇതൊന്നും മനസ്സിലാവില്ല. നിങ്ങൾ ഇതൊക്കെ ആദ്യം മുതൽ എല്ലാം പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കണം. ഷമ്മി തെലുങ്കിനെ വെച്ച് നമുക്ക് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം. നമുക്ക് ഇതൊക്കെ ഒരു എല്ലാവരും എല്ലാം അറിയണം. എല്ലാവർക്കും മനസ്സിലാവണം.
and the Shami Teligan thing. Shami Teligan, I think, is like a great actor. In this one, he was bad. Just like
He
I
didn't
think
have
Tovino
anything
wasn't
else
good
to
in this
do. If
because
you know, like he didn't have any action, he didn't have any protection figure. He could have helped when that daughter was getting kidnapped the second time around, at least. Like, the abduction. Like, no,
zero
like
use.
buddy, I need to protect something. Do something other than do presentation and explain who these people are. Take some role, but they didn't cast him well. I think they didn't give him enough thing. Shami Telangan could if they gave it to him. But like I said, no, this thing went into how the story is made. It was like look നന്നായിരിക്കണം. ഉള്ളിൽ ഒന്നുമില്ലെങ്കിലും കുഴപ്പമില്ല. ലുക്ക്
Yeah,
ഉണ്ടാവണം.
and and okay, another thing. No, like ഇവരെല്ലാം cops ആണെന്നാ പറയുന്നേ, but nobody looks up anybody. It's like നിനക്കൊരു യൂണിഫോമിൽ കയറി, ഞാൻ കോയമ്പത്തൂരിലെ സീനിയർ
ACP
ACP
ആണ്.
ആണ്
Like,
എന്ന്
yes,
പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്
sir.
വന്ന്, yeah, yeah, yes, sir, yeah. Nobody is looking for any kind of credentials, nothing. And this man is just on like some murder case. Like this is what I'm saying. It's like even they don't. Another thing where the plane scene, right, where he switches off the transponder or whatever. Okay, and we saw what happened. Like he flipped it, it came back on or whatever, right? And then he's like transponder. ഇതാണ് change. Like, oh
ഓഫ്
my
ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ
god, dude.
പ്ലെയിനെ കാണാൻ പറ്റില്ല. We become invisible. The communication cut out. Like at this point, ATC
Okay.
even kids know. Kids know what an ATC is
Yeah.
supposed to do. Kids know how it functions. Kids know how the transport in the black box inside this whole everything everyone knows about a plane because it's very widely discussed. He's like, Idan and trade secret. And this guy is also surprised. The military guy, the head of the military guy. I cut this thing. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
No, 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 didn't talk about the military guy. I just remembered the reveal. Sky Marshal. Didn't that feel like Mate
Salam,
Jairam? Pa pa pa
Salam,
pa. Salam
Salam
Kashmir.
Kashmir
Salam
പോലെ
Kashmir.
cyber intelligence wing in the head എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് that time they show his running, his gun
Yeah. It,
gun training എല്ലാം
it
കാണിച്ചു.
was it was so it was so
It
unnecessary.
was a
Okay. And
modern
then,
version of Salam Kashmir's Mohanlal's that and
right?
Jairam's that scene. Yeah.
Like he's doing
Yeah.
pull-ups, he's like firing snipers
Yeah.
and shit. Like
എന്തൊക്കെ ചെയ്തേ എന്നിട്ട് ഈ പോട്ടലിന്
I'm
ഇത്രയും
like,
ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ.
he,
Sister got raped so easy.
yeah, yeah, he couldn't do anything. Oh, so then the way what's it? I think her name is okay. We agree if you're shading on someone, we don't want to say their name. But the person, that lady who is the villain's assistant who calls and like the hype
Ah,
woman for no
ah,
hype. That's when she says, "Yeah, what did she say? Don't hold your breath,
yeah.
or you might want to catch your breath or some shit like
Some
that."
shit killer lines she thinks that she says, but bro, she look like
And
a clown
yeah,
lady, bro.
she's like Sky Ranger, Sky Marshal. In, bro, it was so fucking stupid. And the thing is, what do you say? Oh, that scene where what do you say? The plane crashes and then they apart like lift up again. We've seen in 1,000
Yeah,
movies. Like we know they're not
yeah.
gonna crash. It's like a last moment miracle. Okay, it was a miracle. Okay, so we know that's gonna happen. Right, but ഇതിനകത്ത് ചെയ്തപ്പം there was no tension, right?
Yeah,
Like
with
at
that
no
last
point did
minute,
you
Harvey
feel
gonna
any
die also.
tension.
Yeah,
Nothing. Okay, and wait, I have
he
one
took it so
more thing.
calmly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Tobino's
then
like, ഇത് ഗൺ ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ വരാം. ഇതൊക്കെ എനിക്ക് അറിയണതല്ലേ, സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റിലുള്ളതാ. നിങ്ങൾ എന്തിനാ പേടിക്കണേ? നമ്മൾ സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റ് വായിച്ചില്ലേ പൈലറ്റ്? നമ്മൾ ക്രാഷ് ചെയ്യില്ല, നമ്മൾ രക്ഷപ്പെടും.
he's like, എന്നൊരു സത്യം പറയട്ടെ പേടിക്കാതിരിക്കാൻ, ഇത് പ്ലെയിൻ അല്ല, സെറ്റാണ്.
ഇതൊക്കെ ഗ്രീൻ സ്ക്രീനാ, കണ്ടറിഞ്ഞൂടെ?
അതെ, ഓ അതാണല്ലേ പച്ച,
ഞാൻ
അപ്പുറത്ത്
വിചാരിച്ചു
നീല
ഞാൻ
കണ്ടപ്പോ
വിചാരിച്ചു
കൺഫ്യൂഷൻ
ആകാശം
ആയിപ്പോയി.
മുഴുവൻ പച്ച കളർ എന്നു. എന്റെ ഈ എമറാൾഡ് ഗ്ലാസ് വിസേർഡ് ഓഫ് ഓസ് ഊരി വെക്കിട്ട്
Wow. Wow. Wizard of Oz. Okay. So anyway, okay. എവിടെ നിർത്തിയതാ? This is what it's going to tell you. Okay. And then
I like how you said എവിടെ നീ നിർത്തണ്ടേന്ന് I will tell you. That's like എവിടെയാ നിർത്തിയേ? ഇനി ഇവിടെ തുടങ്ങരുത് ഇനി.
ഇത് ഇവിടെ വെച്ച് നിർത്തിക്കണം. but but the Major Ravi, okay, Major Ravi just showed up for
I,
nothing.
at
Okay,
this point,
okay,
no,
and
one more
then
thing I need to add because you said just not about anything else. Major Ravi should be started be calling as to be from here on known as minor Ravi. Comes for all of these minor roles, never contributes to anything in the movie other than just come there and leave. He does nothing in any movie that is significant in any reason or in any shape or form. If that was done by anyone else, you'd be like, huh, okay. This guy with his military background, we expect him to do something that shows in any sense militarily or something militant way. But nothing. This clown,
no, you know what's funny? It's like I can see that I can see he makes you mad, but like when
yeah.
we watch him, whenever you watch him, we like love him on screen, bro. I honestly got so hyped when I saw him because I know he's gonna he's gonna say some dumb shit or do something really funny. Okay, and you know what he did? You know what was his funny thing in this movie? Okay, he does his normal thing. He's little more കുറച്ചുകൂടി low ആണ് ഈ സിനിമയിൽ. Usually he's a little more
Yeah,
hyper.
yeah.
Okay, so ഇതിനകത്ത് കുറച്ച് low ആണ്. So I'm like I'm not feeling that great. I'm like major, you know, I'm
That's
here
the
for the
major
Major
Ravi
Ravi
element.
jokes, you know. Yeah, no, so he's playing it down. So I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe cinema, it's a miss for me. Okay, it wasn't a miss. Within 2 minutes, Major Ravi appears on screen with a broken arm and no explanation. I'm like, why is this so broken? ആരെയുടെ കൈ തല്ലി ഒടിച്ചേ?
Who was so mad at you that they did this to you?
No, they
The
saw
villain don't
ഇവന്റെ
even know you.
they saw ഇയാടെ രണ്ട് ക്ലിപ്പ് ഇൻസൈഡ് you know what? എന്റെ കൈ തല്ലി ഒടിച്ചേ. ഇനി മേലെ ഈ സെറ്റി കണ്ടുവരുന്നു. Like, because if they can't explain it in the story, a movie where everybody's over explaining, nobody explained why this
ഇതിനെപ്പറ്റി
guy's
ആരെയും
കൈ
വിട്ടില്ല.
ഒടിഞ്ഞു. അതെ, അതെ. If we don't talk about it, നടന്നില്ലെന്നങ്ങ് വിചാരിച്ചോളൂ. Okay, so okay, that's one
Yeah.
thing, right? Um, okay, then I have just a rapid fire shit where I have no explanation or shit where um the OCD thing. It was never used
Yeah,
again, yeah, in the
just in
plot.
the beginning, to show how
Yeah,
how he's very. I think
yeah, and
that's to
then
just give you a different vibe about that person to make you think he's a very timid. He's very house oriented. That the way that mannerisms they showed somewhat similar to
okay,
how
but the
Hey
problem is
Jude
in
and
that.
Niven Polly. They wanted to bring a bit of that.
I picked that
Yeah,
up.
you picked that up,
Okay,
and I think seeing that with Trisha was what hit me. I'm like, wait, this girl was with another old CD dude at some point. Who was that? I'm like, yeah, Hey Jude was similar to this, where he just walks like this in a line, sits down, puts the paper, looks unnecessary of Trevino to do this. After this, there was no OCD.
this is my problem where by the second half of the movie he doesn't walk the same way, he doesn't like do anything. So was the OCD an act? But then why?
Yeah, what
Right?
was he trying to
Because if he did, like, think about Hey Jude in അവസാനമാണ് he's air marshal, it would hit a little more better.
Yeah, you'd
Yeah,
be like, okay,
you would
the
see
whole
it
thing was
coming.
undercover.
Yeah, it's like, ഗോവയിലെ autistic chicken ആണോ നമ്മുടെ air marshal? Like, you lose your fucking mind. Okay.
I'll bring the plane down.
No, but this is what I'm saying. I didn't like the movie because I mean you might have figured that out by now.
Oh, oh,
It's
really?
just
I thought this was a okay movie for you. Doesn't sound like that.
okay. Okay, actually I just realized ഇത് മൊത്തം എന്റെ bad നമ്മൾ ഇത്രയും സംസാരിച്ചിരുന്നേ. What was your bad?
My bad. I think I added it between here and there. Mostly it was where the story was very laggy towards the end. They could have shortened this movie, I think, probably like another half an hour. They could have removed a lot of the car
Yeah.
chase sequence. That Trisha and Tovino the car chase sequence.
Sorry, I didn't speak about the car chase. I thought it was a badly
They
choreographed
didn't
scene.
need it. They could have straight up driven to that yard, and like at some point he just attacked Tovino.
Did you see the movie Carry on Netflix?
I don't recollect. Maybe I've seen it. Maybe.
It was the airport. ഇപ്പൊ ഇറങ്ങിയതേ ഉള്ളൂ. 2 മാസം
Ara,
കണ്ടായിട്ടേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഒരു എയർപോർട്ട് സെക്യൂരിറ്റി
oh,
ജെയ്സൺ
yes,
ബേറ്റ്മാൻ
yes, yes,
where
yes,
he's
yes.
like
Loved it.
അതിനകത്ത് ഇതേപോലെ ഒരു കാർ ചേസ്
Yeah,
ഉണ്ട്. ഒരു സീൻ ഉണ്ട്. Do you know what I'm talking about?
car chase ഉണ്ട് അതിനകത്ത്.
ഹൈവേയിൽ വെച്ച് ഇറ്റ്സ് കാർ ചേസ് അല്ല ഇതുപോലെ ഒരു ഫൈറ്റ് സീൻ ഉണ്ട് കാറിനകത്ത്. It's the
Oh,
cop,
in the
the lady
yeah,
cop
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
the agent. Yeah,
And the
it
agent.
was something similar and so yeah, so I saw that and then I saw this. Again, it's not even a budget thing because the visuals look kind of similar. It
Have
was
you
the
seen the
execution of it
making
that
of
was bad.
that shot
Yeah, it was all I've seen. It was on
on
the
the
green
green
screen and
screen?
all
But
that
it
stuff,
was
right? Yeah,
very
yeah,
well
yeah.
done. That whole thing.
It was very
Yeah.
very well edited
Very well
and the whole
edited.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, somewhat similar. Yes, I agree. ഈ chase
Mm.
scene അങ്ങനെ തന്നെയായിരുന്നു. Car, I mean, no, car scene was like no, but it was very different. No, because they didn't seem like because in this both the person the villain
Yeah,
and
no,
the
I see the point.
so,
അതിനകത്ത് രണ്ടുപേരും ഒരു
yeah,
വണ്ടിക്കകത്താണല്ലോ.
but here my point was the car chase scene was very unnecessary. There could have been much other ways where he easily kidnapped Trisha and then went what after that the guy fell off from the car. The villain he should have got the most damage. Tovino was just sitting in the car. Still, he was the one who was thrown out, and he went with Trisha so easily. So they could have done this much better. Yeah, and
It's Fast and Furious rules.
yeah, like the person getting hit is not the person who's dying. The other one is. Yeah, Anganta, that was a bad for me. Then introductions and all these unnecessary points of where it was very elaboratedly and explanations of everything. Like subtitles weren't enough for all of this. We need to see.
ഹാർഡ് ഡിസ്ക് അടിച്ചു പോയത്.
Yeah, hard disk അടിച്ചു പോയത്. Oh,
It was. It's like by we went to the okay. So if the villain didn't show up, Anna, how would you do that? What was your plan with the hard disk?
yeah. How would you be able to
This is why I said
eradicate
it's
this?
all
Yeah,
convenient.
that's why I agree to all of that. So everything happened to the way of what the director wants. The director's like, this is my universe. In this universe, how I dictate shit will happen. If I say this will happen, this has to happen. So why you question this? Anganya, this is not a real world. This is my universe. So I think in this regard, you just have to shut up and see what they have to offer and think ഇതായിരിക്കണം ശരി. I think that's the only way. So that was something that I didn't like. And the other thing I didn't like also was BGM was very unnecessary. നീ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ. But I didn't even feel like it hit the right spots other than in the last that plain fight scene. Everywhere else, BGM was unnecessarily put. There was no right usage of BGM. So then I can't say BGM is good just because the tune is good. I can't say the tune is good here. It has to be rightly used for it to be the whole thing to be good. For me to even appreciate the BGM, it has to be because of that. I and my next flaw would be generally what do you say, that whole ATC scene, how that the flight controller was able to edit all of that. That's very impossible because you can't, if a person coming from a
You can't do it with one
yeah, it
person.
has
You
to
can't
go.
do that with
Yeah,
one
you
person.
cannot do it. Just one person cannot be like, let me decide to do this because there are countermeasures for everything. So simply, you cannot change things around and say, ഇനി ഈ രണ്ട് plane അടിക്കട്ടെ. Ha ha ha. ഞാൻ ഇത് നോക്കി കാണട്ടെ. You can't do it. And what's the thought
No.
process of that dad is what I'm trying to think. To not leak a footage, he's ready to crash planes now. At this point, he's like, I'll do anything for this.
It's so
Yeah,
crazy,
and
right?
there
It's
is
like
no
what do you
and there
say?
is
Yeah,
no
okay.
proper assurance that yeah, if you do this, I will stop. No, it's going to keep happening. Rather than going to cops, rather than going to
Yeah.
police, rather than going to people who can who can help him out, he's like, I'll take matters in my own hands. So I think a lot of idiocracy.
Also, even if he leaks that, like I'm just thinking, like, okay, somebody comes like black, no, I have your daughter's video. I'm like, okay, like if you fuck it, I don't give a fuck. Like, how many people
See,
that
I
knows her?
think
Like, if you try and blackmail me with
yeah,
that shit,
no,
like, no, it's like,
I
yeah,
think in
no,
this
fuck it, yeah,
generation, if a video of like you has been like, see something that you didn't take on purpose and it has come out, you have
yeah,
enough explanation as to how it happened. And if you know your person of that quality and that this thing, everyone will believe you
yeah.
and disregard it as a fake. Because There are people that are rallying 1,000 men in a day. I don't know. I hope you know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. I
Openly,
know. I
yeah.
know. I'm
This
talking
ki-
about,
that
yeah.
kind
That's
of
other things. Yeah.
stigma has to be removed from the society, where because a lot of people have, we know in prior, okay, that this is a message that they should have given, at least in this movie, that they didn't. Where do not think that your life is ended.
You know what? Thank you. I didn't even think of that angle where it could have been like, you know what? Just because your video leaks, it's not the
There
end
were
of the world.
many ways where the director or the story writer could say, this is not the end of your life. Yeah, people saw this. Okay, that's it. And now let's move on to the next thing, and then let's not worry about this anymore. That's not what they showed, how they went into depression, how they were thinking that this is the end of my life. There were people who were deciding to kill themselves. Instead of that, if they stood with those people, then this movie would have a little more of a clarity on why this movie was made. But in this section, it was just ടൊവിനോന്റെ ഫൈറ്റ് സീൻ കാണിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി മാത്രം, ദാറ്റ് ലാസ്റ്റ് പ്ലെയിൻ സീൻ ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി ഉണ്ടാക്കിയ ബാക്കിയുള്ള സിനിമ പോലെയാണ് ഐ ഫെൽറ്റ് ഓൾ ഓഫ് ദിസ് വാസ്.
I, I think that was one of my closing points where it's like they had that fight in their mind and they reverse engineered the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because
Then back to, however, that's why you felt that convenience factor. Because if this has to go like a maze in the uh, inside, you say from the outside you start to the inside. That's how you do, and then you figure your way out much more easier. I mean, sorry, from the center you figure your way outside. Yeah.
I know what you
Yeah,
meant. Yeah, I
so
know what you
so
meant.
it's
Yeah.
it was like that. Like, okay, ഇത് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് എങ്ങനെ ഇവിടെ എത്തും, എന്നാ ഇത് ചെയ്യണം, ഇത് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ ഇവിടെ എത്തും. So that's why the convenience rallied all the way. Otherwise, it would look like something has to look out of the ordinary for, if it's going from the start, like, ഇനി ഇവിടെ വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ then how to go, then you're thinking, because then you have a fork of opinions. Okay, either this or this or this. Here there is no fork. Here it's like ഇതിന്നെ വഴിയുള്ളൂ, ആ ഡയറക്ടർ വരച്ച വഴി, ഇതിൽ അപ്പുറം ചിന്തിക്കേണ്ട പോലെ.
Yeah. This No, and this is the thing, right? So when the fight happened, okay, it was like a decently choreographed fight and everything, like Nalla, very good looking. That's what I said. I can see when this, sometimes you'll see a movie, Nuru Kodi and whatever. I mean, then Nuru Kodi Nalla പറയുന്നേ, and then you're like, അത് എവിടാ spend ചെയ്തത്? Might be this actor's salary because I don't see it on screen.
Hmm.
ഇവിടെ you can see, I think in the budget 40 or something ആണെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. I
Really?
can check Wikipedia and side തുറന്നു വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്.
Like,
No, they haven't revealed the budget. Okay, so I think I heard a rumor it was like about 40.
oh,
Okay, I might
yeah.
be wrong.
Continue.
Don't
Let
quote
me
me
let
on
me
this.
see.
Right? Don't quote me on this. അത്രയധികം ആൾക്കാർ കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ എന്റെ ട്രാൻസ്ക്രിപ്റ്റ് എടുത്ത് quote ചെയ്യാൻ. So
The movie made only
I
what,
don't
18
think.
crores, bro.
Mm, yeah, no, it was a flop.
Oh my god. I didn't know this.
Yeah, yeah. The movie is not well received, and that's why it flopped. Right?
Uh,
Like where, bro, if Pravin Kodi Sharp flopped, like this Pravin Kodi Sharp is better than this.
yeah. Yeah, very bad. Yeah, Prabhupada Shop was at least a smaller budget. Okay, yeah, continue.
Yeah. So then when that fight happened in the plane, where I'm like, okay, I can see it's like a rich looking set and everything, but it didn't
Hmm.
hit, right? Because I don't think
Lemon.
the villain's
Hmm.
motivations were like എന്താ പറയാ, translated well enough for us to really care about our hero defending.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, finish. I want to say something.
Okay. Yeah, no. So that's my last thing because ഈ വില്ലൻ അല്ല സിസ്റ്റേഴ്സിനെ ആരും റേപ്പ് ചെയ്ത ആളുകളുടെ കൊന്നു, right? So he's behind this hard disk, which honestly I don't even know what was in the hard disk. ഇത്രയ്ക്ക് just അവരുടെ videos. So what
Videos.
was in the
Yeah,
hard
he
disk?
just had these videos. I don't know why he had to fight for it. Just go film another couple of videos. He wanted to use this as a trump card against. I think he wanted to use this as a getaway card against Tovino, and as a fresh start to get വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്. I think that's why he wanted this, so that they don't present, or they force the people who are witnessing against, who are standing as witness against the main villain. Now that's where my point has come. Yeah, I want to talk about this. The main big villain at one point is like, "You psycho, what are you doing?" You saw the main villain was saying, "I don't know." You understood what I'm talking about?
Oh, the Chinnappa,
Yeah,
whatever,
that's
right?
the main villain.
Is he the main villain? I never. Okay, what the fuck is this
So
movie
wait,
then? That's
so
what I'm
so
saying. Like,
so it's for him to not be persecuted in court.
I know that the
Yeah,
suspect, right?
for
Like
him,
a
yeah,
Chinnammal or
Chinnappa
whatever,
who's the
right?
main
Yeah.
villain, who's the main guy, who's the baddest of them all, who they said from the start, who's ruthless guy. This guy sits in that flight where the witnesses, the 12 witnesses are being presented, being flown into to Delhi or wherever. to witness, to stand as witness against him. He sits in that plane. He's like, I have no clue what's happening. Why are they trying to kill him? I have no idea. I came into this flight by design at this point. I just wanted to get a flight and I took this and I came. You think I would want to crash the plane that I am sitting in? And Tovino's like, ശരിയാണല്ലോ നീ പറയണത്. നീ അത് ചെയ്യില്ലല്ലോ. ഞാൻ ഇതിന്റെ ബാക്കിയുള്ളവരെ
നീ
കണ്ടുപിടിക്കട്ടെ.
എങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞപ്പോഴാണ്?
Yeah. What? And even till the end, the main villain who's funding all of this has no problem. Contract killer has taken this as an ego issue. Contract killer is like, ഞാൻ ഇത് എന്റെ പ്രശ്നം. നീ ഇത് ഇടപെടണ്ട, ഞാൻ നോക്കിക്കൊള്ളാം.
ഇല്ല, എനിക്ക് അങ്ങനെയൊന്നുമില്ല, ആരെങ്കിലും കൊന്നാ
Yeah,
മതി.
main villain's like, I'm ready to go to court and how much do you put me in jail for a couple of this thing? I'll stay in jail, pay money, come out. That's all he cares about. And main villain's also asking, നീ എന്തിനാ ഈ പെമ്പിളായിട്ടൊക്കെ വീഡിയോ എടുക്കാൻ പോയത്? എന്തിനാ ഇതൊക്കെ ഇത്ര കോംപ്ലിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് ചെറുതായി എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ ചെയ്ത് ഇതൊക്കെ റെഡി ആക്കുന്നതിന് പകരം ഇതാകെ it was more like that. Yeah, it was more like that scene with that Mohanlal's movie Biscuit Factory തുടങ്ങുന്ന നേരത്തെ ഇന്നസെന്റ് പോയി ഒക്കെ ആകെ അലമ്പാക്കൂലേ,
ആ,
അതുപോലെ
മിഥുനം.
മോഹൻലാൽ എന്തിനാ ഇതൊക്കെ നീ ചെയ്യുന്നത്? ഇതൊക്കെ സിമ്പിൾ ആയി ഇപ്പൊ തീർന്നേനെ. വെരി കോംപ്ലിക്കേറ്റഡ് ആക്കി ഇതൊക്കെ നശിപ്പിച്ചപ്പോ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സമാധാനമായില്ലേ? അല്ല, എല്ലാം ഞാൻ റെഡി ആക്കി തരാം, ഒക്കെ ഞാൻ ശരിയാക്കാം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് കൊണ്ടുപോയി പ്ലെയിൻ ഒക്കെ കൊണ്ട്
Now the Sky Marshal is behind all this.
Sky Marshal
Look,
would
man,
have,
I
he would
don't
have
know. Like,
fucked. He would have
okay.
stayed there doing his OCD shit. And what affected Tovino was not even his sister getting raped. Another dude's sister getting raped.
No, his sister also got raped.
His sister getting raped. He told her, "Shut up and sit there. You have to come back."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he told his sister, "You need to come out of here." He gave her a book and told, "Okay, മോള് ഇത് ഇനി കണ്ടു ഇത് നമ്മ ഒന്നും ഇതിനെ പറ്റി പേടിക്കണ്ട കേട്ടോ, ഇതൊന്നും ആലോചിക്കണ്ട. You just come back to your life." That's all he told. He didn't take any step to go ahead and fix this. When that dude,
Oh, Miss Universal.
yeah, അതന്നെ. When his sister got, when another dude's sister something he's like, ഇതങ്ങനെ വെറുതെ വിടാൻ പറ്റില്ലല്ലോ, ഇതിന് ഞാൻ ഇതിന് ഞാൻ നീതിക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഞാൻ പൊരുതാടും.
He's like, ഇതങ്ങനെ വെറുതെ വിടാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ലല്ലോ. I don't hate this girl.
Yeah.
ഇവളെ രക്ഷിക്കാം. Like he hates his sister. Like he basically told her, നിരാശപ്പെടല്ലേ, ഒന്ന് റേപ്പ് ആയി പെട്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് ഒരു ബുക്ക് വായിക്കുക, ഒരു
അതന്നെ,
ബഞ്ച് ജമ്പിങ്ങിന്
അതൊക്കെ
പോ.
ചെയ്ത് live your life. Wow, this is not the end of it. So all of these were the bads that I have. Now let's just quickly go to the overall rating that we want to push to.
Yeah. So okay. So then my rating would be, it's a 1.5
Oof.
out of 5. Yeah, no, I don't think like at 1.5 is because it was a technically good movie. And then like I said, Tovino, like I think Tovino is doing great right now, but this was like a mess because I don't know what can. And
But
this is why I said Tovino is like a good actor who's not good in this for me. Shami Tilakan is a good actor who's not good in
you
this
think
for
none of
me,
their
and I think it's
acting
the
was
direction,
good?
bro.
Because see, here just the story, but probably I think everyone put the effort that they could. Like, see, even Major Ravi went to the point of breaking his arm for the movie, dude. Like they all went. I'm sure there was. I believe. Okay, when you brought this up, I was like, maybe there was a fight scene that that this dude did, and then he was like, finally my break in Malayalam cinema, the first action part where I'm involved, and that's how he broke his arm. There was a small riffraff with the villain. Like he caught him or something, and then he broke his arm, and then he came with the broken arm, and they did that continuity shot. And in the actual movie, they were like, മേജർ രവി ഫൈറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന കട്ട് ചെയ്താണ്, ബട്ട് സർ കാസ്റ്റ് ഇട്ടിട്ട് അതിനെന്താ ഇങ്ങേർക്ക് ഇത് പൊതുവെ കിട്ടുന്ന ആൾക്കാർ വിചാരിച്ചോളൂ, നമുക്കത് അങ്ങനെ തള്ളിവിടാം. So everyone gave their 100%, I feel, but it's just the story never allowed them or gave them enough space for them to do what their full potential. So cast wise, that's why even I said in the beginning, everyone was casted well, everyone did the job they could do right, but
No, that's why I think I was blaming it on the direction. Where if I can give you like the best piece of steak, and if you're not a good cook, you're going to
yeah,
char it,
right.
right? So it's like that's why I'm not blaming any of these actors. I think it's 100% a direction issue
Mm.
here, where I don't think they, like, for them, like you said, let's get to that plane. Like ബാക്കി എല്ലാം പിന്നെ.
I think they shot the plane scene first also. I have a feeling now at this point. They were like, once we shoot that, then we'll get the motivation to do the rest of the movie. I think. 'Cause it
Dude,
felt a lot like
like,
that. Tovino seemed fresh. Not like how he was in the start of the movie where he was very, I need to act in this movie.
oh, one more thing. There's a scene where it's like but Tovino and Sky Marshal
Ah.
reveal ille, okay, where they say Sky Marshal ആണ് അവൻ ആരും അറിയാതെ നിങ്ങളുടെ ഇടയിൽ blend ആവാനാണ് അവന്റെ plan. Cuts to Tovino walking dripped out. Nobody's as dressed as him in that
No,
airport. Okay, nobody, like, he has such an aura. Nobody's 10 feet around him.
no,
Like ഈ ദൈവങ്ങളൊക്കെ നടന്നു പോകുന്ന പോലെ. Okay,
no blending.
everybody's looking at that guy.
It was like a
Like
spotlight was landing on him.
he's now wearing, yeah, he's like, bro, he's dripped out, like, got shades and everything. He's like, must be a Sada accountant. Like, so what's your rating now? Tell
I
me.
would give it 2.5 because the rest is,
Oh,
yeah, the
okay.
rest of the movie they could have, it's all like, I would give 50% effort was taken into all of this because of how technical it was, and I give that credits to technical
Hmm.
parts because I focus on all of this. For
Understood.
me, that makes a lot of
Fair
sense,
enough.
and that's a lot of effort because I know to get that technical right, a lot of people had to put a lot of effort into it. Scriptwriter couldn't put even a scriptwriter and director couldn't put even that much effort into this movie, and that's why it flopped. So, and even the cast members, never everyone who was part of the film did try their best. It was just they were not given the sufficient
Yeah.
things to do. So, because of that, 50% of the movie I'm happy with. 50% of the movie I'm not very happy with. Like you said, BGM was good, but wasn't used well or used unnecessarily. Adonda, you never liked it or you never appreciated it. So it's always Korangan's kayil Poomala kitte പോലത്തെ ഒരു feeling. But then at this point you don't blame the Poomala. So for the Poomala I'm like 2.5. For the Korangan I'm like no points for you.
I'm not, I'm not gonna top that. What do you say? Okay, but
I have a twist
so
up now
yeah, that
towards the
is
end. I
the
don't know.
review.
I was a little more appreciative of the movie, but as I spoke more about it, understood more where are the flaws are, I'm like, now I need to shit on this.
No, but this is what I said earlier, where it feels like like, ഞാൻ വരുന്നത് shit ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയാണ് movies. But no, it's like I actually go into these movies, like even Identity. I haven't, like, whatever I, like, the reviews what I heard or read, like, pre watching this, well, like, it's average to above average in the
Yeah,
പറഞ്ഞാണ് ഞാൻ
everyone.
പോകുന്നത്,
Critical reviews all like
right? So, right, yeah, so then, like, I'm like, okay, and then you saw that and you told me it was like you liked it enough. Adin theater kandappo,
yeah, so in
right?
the theater,
So
I
then
liked
I'm
it. Probably
thinking,
that's why I'm able to give this 2.5 because for the technical to be observed this well in detail, you need to see it in the theater. But for any other way, you would see it in a laptop or a small screen or a small TV where the lighting conditions, everything is not right. Then you wouldn't appreciate it enough. Where he said like 1.5. I'm surprised he gave 1.5. I thought he would give it a one because was it a struggle for you to watch this movie to go watch this?
No, it was pissing me off though. Like, and the thing is, I don't. Again, I'm not trying to be a hater. Like I said, we're here to, like, the whole idea of this podcast because we like talking about movies, right?
Hmm.
So it doesn't give us any pleasure to come and shit on, and even
And also,
people
I
will
think at
say,
this point, people will
um,
understand we're no way sponsored by these people. We're not taking money from anyone because we're giving shit for ratings.
no, exactly, right? Like, and that's the thing. It's that we come from a place of, like, hey, we like watching
Yeah,
good shit, and then, if it's good, there's no reason for us, regardless of who's in it or who's doing what, to, like, just admit that's good stuff, and that's what we want to see. Like, if every movie
you
we're
heard
reviewing
what
is
our
buying
discussions
adipoli
were.
padam,
Like you've said the good. We speak about the goods. We don't just say straight away it's only bad, 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 bad. We could much as easily do that. But we try to find the good in the movie and tell this is what we appreciate. We want to do that. And I think with that in our mind, all movies that we come forward with will be movies that we want to we not be just critical about it. We just want to evaluate it and enjoy that movie. For that reason, we watch, and that's why we all watch cinema to be entertained. And when you come back outside and think, I wasn't entertained enough, here you're losing your the viewer.
yeah, and I think we're, നമ്മളിപ്പം ചിലരുടെ കൂട്ട്, ഓ, ഇത് പോരാ, അത് പോരാ, ഇത് പോരാ, like, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെ പറയുമ്പോൾ it's just
Yeah,
vague. Like, I think we even, like, go in depth, like, what
the
didn't
1 hour.
work. So it just, yeah, like, ഈ 1.25 മണിക്കൂർ എടുത്തിട്ട് നിനക്കൊന്നും മനസ്സിലായില്ലെങ്കിൽ, ലിറ്ററലി ഇന്റർമിഷന്റെ അത്രയും നമ്മൾ സംസാരിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് സിനിമയുടെ. Okay, so
I think if the director and the producer and the story writer, everyone sat together and had a discussion for 1.5 hours like this, they wouldn't release such a shitty movie. They probably had a drink and be like, okay, let's set, release. That's all they did.
മതിയടാ ചത്ത്, ലൈക്ക് എന്തിനാ നീ അടിക്കുന്നതിന് വീണ്ടും, ലൈക്ക് നിനക്ക് ഇറ്റ് ഫെൽ ലൈക്ക് നൗ യു ആർ സോ ആംഗ്രി.
ആ 2.5 ഒന്ന് മാറ്റിട്ട് 2 ആക്കണം തോന്നുന്നു ഇപ്പൊ.
നോ, ഈ പോഡ്കാസ്റ്റ് തീരുമ്പോഴാണ് ഇറ്റ്സ് ഫൈനൽ തിങ്, സോ ഇസ് ഇറ്റ് ടു നൗ?
No, I would still say 2.5. 50% effort was taken. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like you know what, the makers have like a good sense of style, and they like, I love what the movie looks like.
Dude,
So maybe
try that.
focus on the scripting, or maybe franchise out the scripting to
Yeah,
somebody else
make
who's good at
sensible
it,
people to do
so
this
that
for.
you guys can focus on the vision.
Can you repeat the last part once more? Can you repeat the last part? I spoke over you too much.
Which one? Yeah, all right. No, no worries. So I was saying, like, next time, you know what, you guys have this big idea, right? Franchise out the screenplay part to somebody else who's like, better equipped to do that, and you guys can focus on the. I think the one of the directors is a cinematographer too. So, like I said, they know what their movie should look like, which I agree that looks great. But then, like, make me care about what I'm looking at, right? And that's, I think that's my that's how I'm gonna end that.
And also
That's those are my
to
last
just
words about this
support
movie.
and also credit the intelligence of the viewers at this point are able to understand a lot of things, so you don't waste your time lagging this. Cut short your movie a little more, where people do understand. If there are people who still don't understand, they will ask the person sitting next to them. This is general. Everyone talks to the person and thought about it. They would explain it, but try to give someone to let them grow. Like if you keep dumbing it down for the audience, you're going to dumb it down to an extent where you know that people are going to stay dumb. Rather increase the quality of the movie, where you know people are not sure, they try to find out, and that's where the inquisitive nature grows in that person. But if you keep dumbing it down and telling every bit of the story to the person, people who can enjoy the movie are not going to be able to enjoy the movie, because they're like, "Ah, that's where people say this is a lag, that's a lag, that's a lag." The main reason is that. So if if directors understand this, scriptwriters understand this, they should work in that this thing, understand how cinema lovers enjoy movies, and based on that perspective in mind, they should start making movies.
Yeah, like, and look, I'm not gonna speak for you, I'm just gonna speak for everybody else. But when we watch movies, like, I think we'll appreciate it when the filmmaker makes us feel smarter than, like, where, hey, you made me come to you, and then I find out, oh wow, like that, right? Instead of you coming to me and telling me, "അവിടെ ഇരുന്നോ, ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞുതരാം എല്ലാം." Now I feel stupid watching a movie because you think I'm
Like
stupid.
a very good example of that was what Drishyam was. Drishyam 1, Drishyam 2.
Yeah.
It took you to that place where you felt dumb, but that's good that you felt it, because if you were able to figure it out, then what's so nice about the movie? What sets it apart? It's just another stupid movie. But Drishyam stood out like that because you were able to not predict any bit of it, even though probably maybe close to those parts you were, but up until the point where the twist happened, you were probably in the dark about all of this. And that's where the movie made a lot of money. Another movie I think we need to speak after this call. I have a couple of movies that are nice that we need to speak about that just finished, and I think
Yeah, we can do that.
we need to
Again, we're
speak
not
about that. Yeah.
confined to any release schedule or anything like that.
Now at this point, maybe our viewers might be like, why are you guys then just choosing shitty movies? Why don't you choose the good movies that are out there? So we'll see the next few movies. Let's discuss and let's look at the
Yeah.
pralav that comes in with
Or,
speak about other
that's
movies.
right. So make sure to make sure to write us at vibecollectivepodcast@gmail.com. That's
I'll be
vibecollectivepodcast@gmail.com.
written down in
And
the
we will
description.
be yes, right. And we will be reading out your letters on the show. സമയം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആരും എഴുതാറില്ല, സോ നിങ്ങളുടെ ഒറ്റയ്ക്ക് വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ സമയം എന്തായാലും കാണും. But that being said, it has been a pleasure hosting this episode with you, Austin Joy.
Likewise, Arun
All
Chandra.
right. And nice to meet you.
Okay,
Okay.
it has been
So
again.
that, that, that has been, no, let's leave it, leave that as
Okay,
it
I
is.
put my
Okay.
leg up and all
Thank
at
you
this
guys for
point because
watching.
I was that.
അതെന്നാ? നിന്റെ വീട്ടിലല്ലേ, അവരുടെ വീട്ടിലല്ലല്ലോ, നീ
Can't
കാലിച്ച്.
agree. Okay, yeah.
So anyway, thank you guys for watching. And we will catch you next week. Take care, guys. Say something audio, yeah.
Huh?
Audio late. Say something.
Oh, I said no. That's enough. We can cut it there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Now, how do we end this? But you want to put something at the end, yeah, or just leave it?
Uh, this one we can leave. It's long
Okay.
enough.
The general issue when you watch things on OTT is you're using your phone always. Just make it a habit. If it's a nice movie, if someone told you not to, just put your phone on the side. Don't touch it. Like how you would act in a theater. If you act in this thing, you'd get that same ambience. I feel. And don't pause. Don't eat in between. Don't stop and go eat ചോറ് മീൻകറിയൊക്കെ കഴിക്കാൻ നിന്ന് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ then of course എന്റെ ആരാധക വൃന്ദങ്ങൾ എന്നോട് തെറി പറയും.
നമുക്കെന്നാ ഒരു സ്മോൾ സ്നിപ്പറ്റ് ഇപ്പൊ
Yeah,
റെക്കോർഡ്
because
ചെയ്യാം കേട്ടോ,
no, because
ക്യാമറ
I
റോൾ
told
ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്.
also in this at the end we will tell you.
Alright, so next weekly movie, Austin, it's your call.
So it's going to be one of the top anime. I wouldn't say anime. Animated movies that has come out in 2025. The legendary Barros.
Good movie ആണെന്ന് ഞാൻ കേട്ടു, ഭയങ്കര നല്ല മൂവി ആണെന്ന് കേട്ടു. So I'm very looking forward to reviewing it, very excited about it. I can't wait to see it.
I would, I would,
Mohanlal's
I
first
would say the
directorial strong
VFX
thrill.
out of the world. Disney and what do you say? Pixar should learn a few things from all of this. It's out of the world. Like whatever effort they put into it, spot on, spot on.